Good evening and welcome to the
August 7th.
to the August 7th City Commission meeting. It is our regular meeting. It is the first Wednesday of the month, and I'd like to call for the roll.
Commissioner Mike Mitchell.
Here.
Commissioner Rocky Smith.
Here.
Commissioner Adam Marl.
Here.
Commissioner Frank O'Donnell.
Here.
And Mayor Denise McGriff.
Present. We will move next to the flag salute, so will you all please rise? Join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not to be irreverent or anything, but I remember a Mondragon about the Pledge of Allegiance when the little kid said, "Who's Richard?" It said, "Pledge, you know, to the flag of the," and it says, "For Richard Stands." He didn't know who Richard Stands was. That's a Mondragon. Something you hear that doesn't quite go out right. We do not have any ceremonies or proclamations this evening. So I'd like to move to item number 4, public comments. We have one slip here, Bob LaSalle.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Bob LaSalle, and I live here in Oregon City. I'd just like the Commission to know that one of its employees is making it unreasonably difficult to obtain some public information. Yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I left a message for Kendall Reed that I would like to have the figures for the park's deficit amount for maintenance. Seems to me like a pretty simple question. Today I received a call from Kendall, and he stated that he couldn't give me that information, that it would have to come from Tony Conkle. I left a message with Tony this afternoon. Of course, he probably hasn't had time to respond to all his messages, but I have not heard back from him. Typically, I don't hear back from him. Many people don't hear back from him. I'm a little concerned about trying to get a simple piece of information, and you can't even get it from the person that probably know it best. Why that is made difficult, I can't imagine. That's all I have to say.
I'm assuming the person that's trying to get the information is you.
Pardon me?
I said, I'm assuming the person that would like to get the information is you. You said that you were speaking on behalf of someone who was trying to get some information from someone.
No,
so I'm assuming it's you.
Me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, as you know, our staff does respond in a timely manner, and if you were expecting it in, you know, to turn around in 24 hours, I don't know, maybe that's an unrealistic expectation, but Mr. Conkle, we'll get back to you.
What I couldn't understand is why Kendall Reed couldn't be allowed to give me that information. That's a little ridiculous.
Well, you can speak with our staff about that.
Okay.
And maybe it seems simple to you, but it may not be simple to everyone else.
Well,
But thank you for letting us know.
So restricted in their
we thank you for letting us know, and we will.
Public, then that's pretty pitiful.
Well, Mr. Conkle is going to respond to you, so.
You know, so I asked Mr. Reed to forward it to me. We have 5 candidates running for elected office, of which Mr. LaSalle is one. If I have 5 candidates, much like with the commission, I ask the communication go through me when we're asking our staff to produce information. If I have 5 candidates calling up my directors and asking them for information, it's gonna be difficult. So all I asked is that the information come through me so I can disseminate it and manage my staff and the workloads that they have. We will gladly get the information to you as quickly as we can. It's not meant to be a roadblock or to not provide it to you. It is that they have responsibilities and they're responsible to me. And much like the commission, I ask that those communications, when there are requests for information, go through me so I can help manage what they have to do and the information that's provided. It's not meant to be a roadblock, and it's not meant to be something to inhibit what you need. We will get it to you as quickly as we can. And yes, I got your call at 12:45, 1 o'clock this afternoon. I asked Kendall to put the information together, and we will get it to you as quickly as we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Mr. Conkle, I actually have a question, and I think it's a fairly neutral question. If one of the pool of candidates requests information, then do you disseminate to all candidates?
No.
I don't-
Okay, that's fair. Because I think that if they take the initiative, they should be the recipient and not necessarily.
No,
That's
I think
exactly what I wanted to
it's just trying to manage the information.
I understand. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure. I just wanted to know what the process was. Thanks.
I don't think that that's an unreasonable, process. I would have to say that I was aware that the planning commission is aware of that. That's the process that we use. If you need information, it goes through a certain process. So it's,
And the other part of this is I really don't want my staff getting involved in the politics of these elections.
right. Well, I think.
I mean, that is part of it as well, right? I will be I'm the one.
Right, but let's
end of the day.
clarify, it wouldn't matter whether they were running for office or not, that the information still needs to go through your office, which is the point that I want to make. It's not about that part of it. It's, if a community member wants something, they can make the request, but it has to go through your office.
I mean, typically we would ask for a public records. It just depends what
Right,
it is. I mean,
right.
some stuff's really easy. You know this. Some
Yes.
things are very easy. Some aren't. Some don't exist. Some need to be created. So, you know.
Yeah, so we just want to make it clear that that's the process, that if something is needed, there's a procedure and a process. Nobody is trying to hide anything. It is about managing our staff time.
Correct.
Oh, I think it's a good process, and I do because it's defensible, because there can never be an allegation that there is favoritism towards a specific candidate by providing them information. And the reason I asked my question, I feel if somebody seizes the initiative, they should be the recipient, much less I went and interviewed every director when I ran for office 8 years ago. I just think, take the initiative and be the beneficiary. So it's a good answer, and I stand by the process.
Okay. All right, let's move on to review of the agenda. So we have, let's see, 7 items under the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions about that, or do we have a motion to, excuse me, adopt the consent agenda? Excuse me.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Ooh.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the consent agenda be approved as submitted. Let's have the roll call, please.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Marl,
Aye.
and Mayor McGriff.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Right.
Maybe I'll vote too while we're here. Aye.
Did he skip you?
Since I came, I think I might as well
Well,
vote.
could we
Apologies.
redo that? Could we
Let's
do that?
do that one again real
Could
quick.
we redo that again, please?
From the top,
Yes, from the top.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Marl,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Was that Commissioner O'Donnell?
I believe that is.
Aye.
Thank you. And Mayor McGriff.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, so we don't have any public hearings tonight, but we do have one general business item. It's the second reading of ordinance number 24-10006, or 1006, revising the city code for the Youth Advisory Commission. And I don't think we need a staff report. Are there any questions about the second reading? Can we have a motion? Oh, excuse me, please read it.
Well, the
motion.
Yes, okay, so let's have our motion, and then we will have Mr. Kabizman read.
I move to
the
approve
text.
the second reading of ordinance number 24-1006.
Second.
Ordinance number 24-1006, an ordinance of the City of Oregon City revising the city code for the Youth Advisory Commission.
Start with Mr. O'Donnell.
Commissioner O'Donnell,
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Marl,
Aye.
and Mayor McGriff.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Yes, and may I add to that that we have completed our interviews for the Youth Advisory Commission, and we'll be bringing the applicants forward at our next City Commission meeting for approval. I think we have a great batch of students, and very excited about that. And I want to thank Commissioner Morrow for helping us slog through those, and Hannah for doing the wrangling, as usual. All right, so let's move on to item number 10, which is communications,
Nothing by me.
and that's you.
Yeah, I think the only thing tonight, I just want to thank Chief Davis and all the staff for National Night Out event last night. I think it was a really well-attended, great event, put on well. We had multiple departments there with information, citizen involvement committee. Just a really fun event. It's fun to see how that has grown over the years. And Sean looked great in the dunk tank. So there was a great ad.
With his waterproof watch by you.
Yeah, it was a great ad for this year's event. So thanks for the commissioners who came out. So really just a good event. Appreciate all the effort that went into it. That's all I have.
The public seemed to have a good time. Ms. Raines, do you have anything? We're going to get you one of these times on, under communications. Mr. Mitchell?
Well, I'll just second the comments about National Night Out. It was a tremendous event. All of our departments made a great presentation. We've got a lot of good things going on in this city, and we deserve to toot our horn a little bit every once in a while, and we should. So that was a terrific event, and I want to also thank Mr. Lyman and Ms. Schmidt for the work that they did there. The booth that was put together with the banners explaining what the different city departments do was very professionally done, and it's great to get that information out there because there's a lot of people in our community that frankly don't know everything that we're doing. So thank you to everybody. Real quick, the Metro UGB Urban Growth Boundary roundtable that I sat on, that has finished its work.
And you didn't die.
The report is open for public comment now through the 29th of this month. So if you have insomnia and need a way to go to sleep, that'll probably do it. Basically, that report, depending on if you use, there was a low recommendation, a high recommendation, and a midpoint, and depending on where you choose to land in there, I think you could prove that, yes, we need more space in the UGB, or no, we don't, because there is a range. That now goes to the Metro Chief Operating Officer. She'll make a recommendation that then goes to the Metro Council, and they make a recommendation whether or not to add to the UGB. And the only proposal to add is from the city of Sherwood for a large development they want to do called Sherwood West, on the west side of Sherwood.
I think it's actually going to go to Impact before it goes to the Metro Council.
I think Impact makes a recommendation.
Yeah,
you're right.
We make a recommendation.
Yeah, you make a recommendation. You're right.
Yeah.
One more quick thing, a request for a work session topic. We had a tremendous 4th of July event. I think we put our staff through some strain because it kind of came together a little late maybe, and maybe not a lot of direction from the commission on what we'd like to see. So I think it would be helpful to our Parks Department, especially before we get into budget time, for us to just have a quick discussion on what we'd like to do next year.
I concur. I've already talked to the city manager about it after having seen staff sort of have a little bit of smoke coming out of their heads.
They pulled off a great event.
Yes, yeah. And
especially for a first time out of the box.
We were very general about, what we talked about, but I think using the template that we have for concerts in the park was a good idea.
Yep.
Because they're experienced in doing that, and it makes sense, and people loved the band. I mean, they really did. They thought they were, I heard nothing, I've still been hearing about the band, so.
Oh, may I throw in one more real quick thing? I did speak just as a private citizen, I made that clear, to the Westland City Council on Monday evening. regarding the letter that we discussed a few meetings ago, the River Assets and Opportunities Task Force. That was in public comment. They did not take any action on it. There was some head nods. I think they'll be supportive, but they're going to be taking that up at a future meeting.
Have you been successful in getting the signatures from those other folks?
Most of those are going to happen at the meeting on the 24th.
Okay. I thought it was earlier, so I'll be waiting for that.
Isn't it 24th?
I thought I thought it had happened, but the 21st. So yeah, I thought it's the 21st.
I'll look.
Mr. Morrow, want to tell us what's going on with C4?
Yeah, no, because this isn't committee reports. I was just going to say that I concur with Commissioner Mitchell about talking about the 4th of July. There was a reason why I had brought it up in advance, and so I'm glad that our staff was able to do it under the time when we were finally able to get it onto an agenda item. So I think that would be good. I just wanted to bring up something, given the news today about Willamette Falls Paper Company, that I think we all share concerns over, but we just haven't really had an opportunity to talk about because it's such a big picture thing right now. But I have serious concerns about what's going on with the trust, the Willamette Falls Trust. They have new leadership, and this would be a good opportunity for us to relay those concerns. And I know Mr. Conkle and the mayor have done so already, but given the fact that almost exclusively they are dedicating their time toward the West Lynn side of the river, and given that a lot of the money that is in their coffers has been given with the intent that it was supposed to go toward Oregon City, given that the seed money was given to that organization with the intent of it benefiting our side of the river, I have serious concerns about the fact that this organization is almost exclusively spending their time on the other side. Not to say that they shouldn't be working with West Lynn as well. I just think that the lack of a partnership is very concerning. Even though we're not officially affiliated with them, it's something where I think the lines of communication need to be improved. So I just wanted to throw that out there, just given the recent news about some things that are going on the other side of the river.
First point, said it. Second point, we said it. Third point, we said it. Fourth point, we said it. Fifth point, we said it. I was asked specifically about what money were they using to operate the organization, and I said, because the other money that was given by, and I listed certain people, and she said, oh, we're using that for operations, and I said, well, I have some serious concerns about that.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that more than just you saying it 5 times, that it might be helpful for an entire commission to make that point known
Well,
as well.
not 5 times, I was going off your points. I said we brought each one of those up to her at a meeting we had.
I know, and I acknowledged that when I was making my comment, and like I said, it's more than just coming from one person, it's coming from an entire body of elected officials that I think is something that could make a difference.
Yeah.
I share in all those concerns. I have felt for a long time that the trust has exceeded its original task and continues to do so. And I'm curious, what determines the relationship of our city with the Willamette Falls Trust?
We asked the question.
I think it's been a long time. Originally, when we partnered with Metro to create that, we had a relationship because we had provided some initial funding for it to be started. I cannot remember if we had an agreement. I think we may have had an operational agreement. I'd have to go back and look, but so really, we don't have a relationship anymore.
So what is the source of their authority?
They are a 501c3.
Right.
They are operating on their own at this point.
And see, what concerns me is lack of oversight from our city. And I'm just curious if we can re-examine that relationship, because that whole project, I'll say it in plain language, has absolutely floundered. It's floundered for a period of years. And I think that we could do a better job of managing it than anyone who has previously attempted it. And I'm not happy with Willamette Falls Trust continuing to, in my mind, usurp more authority and do more decisions that impact the city of Oregon City, especially this allocation of funding. Because we spoke about funding 2 years ago where the state had given us $10 million to use there. And the whole group was warned, if we don't show some progress, at some point, we're in danger of losing that. Well, now, based on what we just heard, maybe that funding is in jeopardy for another use, and I don't want to see that. So those are my thoughts out loud in a public meeting.
Well, if I was West Lynn, I'd be very concerned about the lack of tax-based revenue. They don't really have any major employers, but that's been brought up. So anyway, I don't have anything new to report.
Commissioner Smith?
What?
Rocky?
Oh, Rocky, do you have anything?
I just agree with everything that was just said about that topic.
You said
I've been
you agree?
concerned about that. I've been concerned about that for a long time.
Rocky, you need to speak up a little more.
Can you,
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Barely.
Barely.
Okay. Well,
Did you say you agree?
I agree. I can
Okay.
just say that.
We got
I
that.
agree. I have concerns and voiced most of the same concerns before, so I'd like to chat more about it as a group.
Well, we've got our commission here. We could give direction as a commission to re-examine that relationship and see if there's anything that can be done to potentially modify it, because I think we've abdicated too much responsibility to the Willamette Falls
As you
Commission.
I don't know if you understand, the leadership of the trust is now tribal focused. Chief Yellowwash of the Yakama Nation is the chair, and they are basically focused on that. And I would say one of my questions was, well, what are the other people who are on there doing? Because we did have, with Alice Norris, she was kind of someone that we had a connection to, and I think and you were supposed to be a representative.
I was, and when I was there,
Yeah, and you were there, and then I said, you haven't had any meetings where anybody's been invited, so I said, what's going on? So there was no promises, just we brought those concerns and said, there's been sort of a lack of communication. Officially, there's been stuff going on behind the scenes with, talking with Andrew and other folks, but he's now gone, and Ms. Brown is now the chair. Interesting title. I think it's said of the executive director is listed as the president. And I thought, well, that's an interesting, interesting phrase, because I don't know what that means.
let me say this. 2 years ago, at the final meeting that I attended, I made a speech about the utilization of that $10 million. Use it or lose it. My speech was, let's demonstrate some physical progress. Let's worry about the signage, about the conflict among tribes and whose sign goes where later. Let's demonstrate to the state that we are utilizing those funds in an effective manner. And everybody agreed on that. And shortly thereafter, under the leadership of others, the thing went to pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we agree. All righty. Well, I think we have talked about that. We could talk about it some more, but you were already going to go back and look at the agreement anyway, so that's just add that to your list.
Do you want
Mr.
formal
Conkle?
direction from a consensus?
He's got it.
No, I think I think we'll have discussion about, bring this back, have a discussion
Yes.
about the trust. Maybe we can reach out to them, invite them
Exactly.
to come present or talk or,
It's not so much a presentation, I think it's a matter of a discussion. We don't need a presentation.
I don't need I would like a legal opinion on what can we do to possibly modify that agreement and take better control of it. This is our backyard. This is our side of the river, and those were allocated and dedicated funds for here.
Are
And
you
I
talking
want
about
to
the
make,
easement? Because
Yeah.
that's held by Metro.
well, the easement might be, and
But the
that's
trust doesn't-
another
yeah,
discussion
the trust
about
doesn't
should,
have
maybe
anything
they
to do
want
with
to
that.
forego the easement, and maybe we could assume it.
We are working on that,
Well,
looking into that. to see
Kind
if
of
we
tying in with what Commissioner O'Donnell just said, it'd be interesting to know what do their bylaws say as far as what the city, Oregon City's involvement should be, if anything, or I don't know if they're incorporated, if there's incorporation papers, if board membership, who needs to be on a board. I mean, if they haven't had a meeting where they've called our representative to it in, over 2 years?
Oh, longer than that.
Are they living up to their bylaws, and what can we do? I don't know, maybe there's nothing there, but
there
it seems
will
like
be.
there would have been something, some sort of bylaws or articles of incorporation or something when they were established.
They do have
There will
those.
be.
They do have
It'll be
that.
nice to know what
Because
Our rule is spelled
I've written
out.
501c3s, and that's in there.
Yeah.
It's got to be in there.
Right,
To
so
get
have I.
approval by IRS, so.
All right. Well, we are going to end our meeting, and we're going to adjourn into executive session.
No.
No, we're not having an executive session? Oh, I thought we were. Why did I think we were?
Because you will do anything to extend a meeting.
No, I will not. I thought we were, so the meeting is
Nothing
adjourned.
tonight. Thank you.